What an amazing game at Stamford Bridge. What an absolutely shell-shocking game that was. I thought that Chelsea were genuinely magnificent. And I'm about to say something that I haven't said about my own football club for what feels like years. What I have learned about Chelsea, the resilience, the determination, the heart, the fight, the tenacity, the aggression to play a team like Arsenal, to play an exceptional team like Arsenal. They are a brilliant outfit. They are top of the league. They are almost definitely going to win the league. They have some outstanding players. And we have taken the game to them. We have taken the game by the jugular and taken it to Arsenal. We have offered them everything. We have gone down to 10 men, losing our talisman. And somehow still, we have given them a major headache. That demonstrates a difference between Chelsea and Tottenham right there, doesn't it? Tottenham last week, absolutely pitiful, totally capitulated against their rivals. We're playing Arsenal, and I said full well, we will make it a fight. We will make it a hard day at the office for Arsenal. And I learned something about this Chelsea team today. I didn't think it was possible. I can't believe what I'm about to say here, but you ready for this? Chelsea are in a title race. I was wrong before. I said we weren't. I said there wasn't a world that we could do it. But the way that we played, Enzo Fernandez, Reece James in the middle, commanding. Enzo Fernandez playing like an absolute warrior in the absence of his main man alongside him. It was absolutely brilliant from us. It was a wonderful game. It was a wonderful London derby. It shows you what London derbies are supposed to be. That is a proof that Chelsea and Arsenal are the two biggest clubs in London. It was an aggressive, horrible, competitive game full of jeopardy for both teams. But off the back of what I've seen, Chelsea are in the title race. Yes or no? Get in the comments now. Let me see what you're saying. Yes or no? Simple yes or no. Are Chelsea in the title race? Simply write the word yes if we are, no if we are not. Because I am convinced that we are now 100% in a title race. I can't believe it. I cannot believe quite how average we made Arsenal look. You know, Arsenal could have won it. I thought they were going to win it at the end. Oh my God. That Gyökeres moment, it was taken off his head. It was taken off Gyökeres' head, wasn't it? I thought that was the moment that it was going in. I thought that was the moment that was going to be like a knife to the heart for me. The cross came in. Look at this. Yes. Lots of yeses, lots of nos. What we saying? Yeah, are Chelsea in the title race was the question, and it feels like a lot of people are saying yes. No, I don't think so, says Zach. No, needed to win that game, says Shafe. Yes, says Boots, 4298. You park the bus, says the I mean, look, come on. We're better than that in this community. We are better than that. We are far better than that. We are far stronger than that. We are far more intelligent than that. It wasn't a park the bus. We had 10 men with Moises Caicedo sent off. We're playing the best team in the country. What do you want us to do? Arsenal are an exquisite team. They're an exquisite team who have just demolished Bayern Munich. When you play an Arsenal team off the back of what they have done, what have they done over their last 13 games? Like, they've only dropped points on one occasion. That was to Sunderland. Like, they are a truly brilliant team, a dazzling team, a team full of confidence. When you play that team in the Premier League and then you lose your best player, the best player that Chelsea had, like, you know, if Chelsea are going to go down to 10 men, it's a disastrous no matter who, right? It's a disaster no matter who goes off. But we didn't lose Malagusto, who was brilliant today, by the way, but we didn't lose Malagusto. We didn't lose Liam Delap. We lost Moises Caicedo. We lost the best player on the pitch in his position. One of the best players on the pitch in its entirety. I mean, look, do you know what? I've done a poll here. I've done a poll about this, are Chelsea in a title race, just to see exactly how this is shaping up. And it's about 60-40. It's about 60-40. 60-40 in favour of Chelsea being genuinely in a title race. But I tell you what, I just cannot believe quite how good we were. Enzo Fernandez, I have to do an apology to him. I cannot believe the performance that he put in there. Enzo Fernandez was all over the place. He was a man possessed, and he played with that perfect amount of edge, perfect amount of aggro, perfect amount of hate to get in the Arsenal players' heads. You could see David Raya was really furious with him. You could see Martin Odegaard, when he came on, was really furious with him. In the way that Cucurella does it. The first super chat of the day has landed. It is from Reece K. 622 and a 2 on the end. Sanchez has been solid the last few weeks. Pigs do fly indeed. Sanchez has been good. I mean, the song that Chelsea fans are singing, the song that we're singing about him. You know, he didn't used to be great, but now he's all right. Walking in a Sanchez wonderland. Yeah, I on some level, I do worry about our goalkeeper. But he has been decent for a while, and he made some good saves today. There were a few that he should have made, but he got down quickly. He was brave at the end. You know, when Gyökeres came charging in, he was brave at the end. He was up for it at the end. And you're right, he didn't let us down. Also, you know that distribution that he does? You know that little underarm pass? Sort of the netball pass that he does? Right into the feet of Pedro Neto, right into the pathway of Pedro Neto. It sets us on our way. Like, I worry about Robert Sanchez winning a league in the way that I worry about Trevor Chalobah winning a league, or the way I worry about, I don't know, I was going to say Fofana, but it's more about injury. It's more about injury than ability. But look, if he's playing out of his skin, you know, you would have said that Marcos Alonso would never win a league. You would have said that Victor Moses would never win a league. And yet they did. You would have said Jose Bosingwa wouldn't win a European Cup. The geezer won too. But look, I think it's one of those weird occasions where everyone's a winner, baby. Everyone's a winner today. I think Arsenal have come out of that and they should feel very happy. They've played Chelsea, Bayern Munich, and Tottenham in the same week. And they've won 2, drew 1. Unbeaten out of those 3 games. That is exquisite from Arsenal. That is the kind of form that sees you win a league title. That is the kind of form that sees you go into the depths of the Champions League. So I think Arsenal can look at a point against Chelsea, a point at Stamford Bridge. They've got Stamford Bridge out the way. They've got Anfield out the way. They've played Man City once already. They've got all these games out the way. Arsenal, in their quest to win a Premier League title this year, will not have to go to Stamford Bridge again. It's over. And they've come away with a point. And they have got that one out of the way. They have far easier games coming up, and Stamford Bridge is one of the hardest games they will play. Will R in the super chat says, football heritage. We are absolutely in the title race. We are in the title. I cannot believe it. Like, you are absolutely right. We are. I mean, this time last year, Enzo Maresca told the world that we couldn't win a league. And I remember being so angry. Because I thought we could. I thought we could have done it last year. This year, however, I've been saying that we can't, because basically Enzo Maresca taught us that we can't. But he hasn't said it this year. I mean, early in the season, he was weird. Early in the season, he said Liverpool were going to win the league. And I was like, hang on a minute, mate, you're Chelsea manager. But I tell you what, that aggression that we've played with, we try to win a game with 10 men against the best team in the country. That shows you that we are up for it. That shows you that we are keen on trying to win a league title. And I tell you what, we'll never know, right? But if we could avoid all of these red cards all the time, man off at Old Trafford, man off at Stamford Bridge against Arsenal, you think about what would have happened in that game if Moises Caicedo had stayed on the pitch. I think it's fair to say that Chelsea could have won the game. If we'd won that game, we'd beaten Manchester United at Old Trafford. It could have all looked so differently. And I tell you what, the rivalry between Chelsea and Arsenal is beautiful, isn't it? If you're an Arsenal fan watching this, I hope that you're buzzing. Because Chelsea being strong and Arsenal being strong, Chelsea and Arsenal going for titles together, it's what London football is all about. It's what London rivalry is all about. This new rivalry that has been reborn, like the edge, the spite, the aggression, the bite in the game between these players. I thought it was brilliant. Some of the challenges that were going in, some of the moments that were going in. You look at the challenge, Caicedo's challenge, obviously. The hit on Trevor Chalobah, bang. Enzo Fernandez has gone through someone. Enzo Fernandez has then been done. Enzo Fernandez and David Raya. This is what we want. When football is at its best, Chelsea and Arsenal are going for it. When football is at its best, you've got Fabregas having Lampard round the throat. You've got Lampard getting Fabregas in a headlock. You've got Terry and Thierry Henry going for it. You've got Dennis Bergkamp leaving one in on Ricardo Carvalho. You have got football in its purest form when these two teams are going for the jugular and going for titles. Football heritage, we are absolutely in the title race, and you are right. It is football heritage. Another super chat here from Magdude, who says, voted yes, they are in a title race, but if they can't contain the number of red cards they are getting, they will end up taking right out of it. Yeah, I agree. We have to keep, like, what have we got? 6 men sent off already. Enzo Maresca himself has actually been sent off already. And you are correct. That is just not good enough. That is simply not good enough. Can I ask you a massive favour? Please, before we do anything else, could you just like this stream? Really helps me out. If you would be kind enough to like this stream, it would make me so happy. I'm dreaming of one day hitting 1,000 likes whilst we are still live. So it's a million miles away. Probably won't happen today. Oh, lovely cup of rosy there. A celebratory cup of Rosie Lee off the back of getting a point against Arsenal. That's Stamford Bridge with 10 men. Tell you what, you've had some good draws in the past. Remember that Michael Essien rocket? Mate, it was good, wasn't it? That was good. Howden in the super chat said, You were good, but you were not in a title race. Mikel Merino was our best player, far and away. He was a proper clutch player. He's a good player. He's a really good player, Merino. He's a really good player. I had this debate fairly recently. Best finisher at Arsenal, Merino, is what I was saying. Merino, best finisher. Better finisher than Gyökeres, better finisher than Xhaka, better finisher than Trossard. Trossard probably second on this. But Mikel Merino is the most natural finisher at the club. And I rate him. I rate him incredibly highly. A utility player, a player that can score goals. Like he played, obviously he had the massive moment. But equally, some of his midfield play was brilliant. Some of his combative, aggressive, forward-thinking midfield play was equally brilliant. He's just a great player. He's just a really, really good footballer. And you need players like that. Players that you can count on. Players that you can rely upon. DW in the Super Chat says, certainly in a title race. Whether Chelsea will ride it to the end is another question. Real show today. Wish we had a manager with some balls at Tottenham. Yeah. Listen, I can't even comment. Everything that you saw from Chelsea today is the antithesis of what you saw. It's the antithesis of what you saw from Tottenham last week. If there was ever an example to demonstrate the difference in clubs, the difference in approach, the difference in heritage, the difference in DNA, it was Tottenham's game with Chelsea last week, Chelsea's game with Arsenal this week. It tells you everything that you need to know about the two clubs. But yeah, I do agree. I think that we are in a title race, and the fact that you, as a Tottenham fan there, DW, have acknowledged it is huge. The fact that we have done it with 10 men, it's brilliant, isn't it? And I tell you what, look, Liverpool and Man City created this rivalry, didn't they? Klopp versus Guardiola. I wonder if we are about to see the birth of the new version of that. Is it about to be the new Chelsea, the new Arsenal? Arteta versus Maresca? Is it about to become a Declan Rice versus Moises Caicedo? Is that what it is about to be? You know, the fact that the Premier League table is shaping up the way that it is. I mean, City are in second, aren't they? Arsenal have maintained a 6-point lead over us. But obviously it's been unbelievably, off the back of what we saw City do yesterday, nearly do their best to throw away a 2-goal lead against Leeds United and win it in the last minute. It's ended up being a brilliant weekend for Man City. Rather annoyingly, City are only 5 points behind Arsenal now. And we're a point further than that, on the same points as Aston Villa, amazingly. God, he's done a good job there, Emery, hasn't he? Hasn't he done a good job? But the title now, it feels like it. Arsenal favourites. Arsenal still clearly the team to beat. Arsenal are still clearly the best team in the country. That's a fact. Losing points at Stamford Bridge does not change anything. But I tell you, if there is a world now where we can somehow dethrone Arsenal, where we can somehow make it happen to upset their equilibrium, like they've got some very winnable fixtures coming up, annoyingly. But we need to be the team waiting. We need to be the team waiting to do it. Caicedo getting sent off was the killer. That was the problem, you know. If he had stayed on the pitch, if he had managed to not get sent off there, at one point I thought the yellow card had been given. And I know what everyone's going to say. I know that you're going to tell me that Caicedo was a straight red. It should have been a red and whatever. I probably agree with you. He kind of did get something on the ball. That's the only thing that... Do you agree with me, right? The reason why I think that Caicedo was potentially harshly treated is because if you watch his trailing foot, he gets something on the ball. I suppose he did take a lump. Do you think it was a sending off? Hey, let me look in the chat now. Go yes or no. Was Moises Caicedo rightly sent off? Yes or no? Let me know. Caicedo is a thug. I mean, that's just not true. So at the very least, at the very worst, it was a mistimed tackle. Come on. Rory, you're reading the Maresca. Well, that's an incredible super chat there from Sharoon. Rory, you're reading the Maresca Liverpool comment wrong. That was prime Mourinho mind games. Put all the pressure on them and we won and started their downfall. Maresca is a genius and clearly he studied Mourinho, third star out of this world. I'm not sure I agree with you, Sharoon. I'm not sure I agree. I didn't really like those comments. And it's kind of similar to what he did last year. Do you remember? On the 23rd of December, nearly a year ago, we were playing Sean Dyche's Everton. Had we beaten Everton, we would have gone top of the league. Enzo Maresca said we weren't in a title race. We then didn't beat Everton. We didn't go top of the league. Next thing you know, we're losing points. We're losing games at Ipswich. We're getting beat at Portman Road. So Sharoon, it's an amazing thought, and I love the idea of spinning it that it was Maresca mind games, Maresca being clever. But Sharoon said, I just don't think I agree with you. I don't think I agree. I think he can say that, but I still like to think that he can say that and believe that we can now win the league. Great to see you around here, Sharoon. I don't know if I've seen you before. It's a wonderful avatar that you've got. I don't know if I've seen you in here. Welcome, sir. Welcome. If anyone is watching this, by the way, and hasn't clicked subscribe, it would be an honour to welcome you into this community. Please do consider clicking that subscribe. But we are literally 5 subscribers away from reaching 372. There must be 5 of you watching who haven't clicked subscribe. Go on, do me a massive favour and join this community. Thank you so much. Wrongful sending off says, I am screw. Wrongful sending off. Then straight underneath it, it's Kashi who says it was a clear red. If not a red, then the ref. Okay. Red, straight red there says Madeira. The only thing is, I think, if I'm looking at his avatar correctly, it might be Arsenal's new badge. So come on, I need some unbiased analysis here. Do you think it was a correct sending off? Do you think that it was fair and just for him to be sent off? I am not convinced. Moises Caicedo versus Rice is the birth of Vieira versus Keane. Do you know how keen I am on that comment to be true? Do you know how desperate I am for that comment to be true? Some of the best moments of my life have happened in Chelsea-Arsenal games. Some of the worst moments of my life. The ball through Cudicini's legs, Thierry Henry knocking it into an empty net. Carnu, Silvinho, Winterburn. Do you know how many moments Arsenal have upset me? William Gallas scoring against us. When I just got back, must have been 08. I literally landed in London off the back of being at the Ricky Hatton-Floyd Mayweather fight, went straight to the Emirates, only to watch William Gallas score against us and they beat us 1-0. Agony. But some of them have been beautiful, man. Some of them have been beautiful. Wenger's 1000th game, the 6-0 victory. And do you know what? I love some of these encounters, and I would love for Chelsea and Arsenal to be a force again, a proper force, like going for titles together. You know, like we haven't really rivaled one another for a title since the Invincible season. Like the following season, we dethroned the Invincibles. And, you know, Arsenal finished second. But we finished with 95 points. Like there was never really a title race. Have we ever really gone for a title together? It would be wonderful, wouldn't it? And look, you could see from the hostility. Enzo Fernandez. I tell you what, I might have to do an entire video dedicated to the brilliance of Enzo Fernandez. I've never loved that geezer. I've just never loved him. Found him a bit dislikable. Today, I was like, I adore this geezer. He's a warrior. He's a gladiator. He's a fighter. This man in my midfield, absolute icon. And Reece James, mate. Prior to the game on social media, I was talking about Reece James and I called him a great. I was ridiculed. I was mocked. I was laughed at. And you know Lee, Arsenal fan Lee, when I said that, he was arguing that Timber was better. He laughed his head off. I said, Reece James, a Premier League icon. And maybe I went a little bit too far. But that's what I said. I tell you what, if Lee, and I believe he was, in that away end, he should be phoning me up now apologising. I should phone him up. Should I phone him up? I should phone up Lee, Arsenal Lee, and just go, listen, mate, everything I said about Reece James was true. Did you see the brilliance of Reece James today? He was everywhere. He was a man totally and utterly possessed. He was fighting for everything. He was dictating the tempo. He was everywhere. He was everything. And I absolutely love it. And do you know what we did today? I'm not taking anything away from Arsenal. The reason I'm so happy, generally speaking, I'm not happy if we draw a game at Stamford Bridge. But the reason I'm so happy is because we did it to the best team in the country. The reason I'm so happy is because we were playing against the team that are most likely to win the Premier League. And look at what we did to them with 10 men. Set piece FC. Undone by our set pieces. We showed them. Nico Jova, brother, are you watching? Are you watching, Nico? Learn how to defend a set piece from us. Learn how to score a set piece from us. It was sensational stuff, man. It really was. And I tell you what now, if we can just put a string of results together, if we can just ultimately find a way, it's going to be truly, truly brilliant. It could have been so different if Moises Caicedo had stayed on the pitch, but it was a proper derby. It was a proper, heated, aggressive derby. And that is exactly what you want. Like Arsenal, they weren't great. They certainly weren't at their peak, but we were good. We were good. We played well. And look, ultimately have done well here, right? Because the gap that they had before the game is the gap that they've had after, and they've got Chelsea away out of their fixture list. So I think Arsenal fans should be very happy today, right? Arsenal fans should generally be not fairly happy. I think actually Arsenal fans should be very happy today because you had a 6-point cushion over Chelsea, which you were happy with. You've maintained a 6-point cushion over Chelsea, but crucially, you've got one game out of the way. You're ticking off the games, right? You want the games to go because you're top of the league. One game out of the way, and you'll never go to Stamford Bridge again in this season. It's a result. It's a result for Arsenal, right? If you're an Arsenal fan, I'd be interested to see. Arsenal fans, tell me, do you believe that this was happy, right? And I'll tell you what, I've got a question for you, Arsenal fans. Be honest. Do you admit that Chelsea would have won the game if Caicedo didn't get sent off? What do you reckon? Let me see what you're saying. Do you think... Oh, Mardy in the chat reckons that he's not happy. It feels like a loss. Nah, mate. Are you mad? Are you crazy? Do you think we beat you then? Mardy, anybody, tell me. Chelsea win the game, right? Chelsea 100% win the game if Caicedo stays on the pitch. Do you agree or disagree? There is absolutely no doubt in my mind that if somehow he stays on the pitch, we win that game, and we win it convincingly. Caicedo getting sent off has done Arsenal the world of good because there is absolutely no way that we get beat if Caicedo's on the pitch, and there's no way that there's a draw. Chelsea would 100% have won. Mardy, okay, you upset me a little bit with your initial chat, telling me that you were disappointed with a draw at Stamford Bridge. But you've pulled it back. You've pulled it back, at least being honest. Honest enough to admit. Lovely cup of Rosie Lee, that. Ooh, nice red bush. But yeah, it was such a good game. It was a pulsating, brilliant, wonderful London derby. And that is what Chelsea and Arsenal should be. Chelsea and Arsenal are London representatives. Chelsea and Arsenal are the London clubs. And when we go head to head, it should be bitter. It should be aggressive. It should be hateful. It should be awful. It should be painful. That is what we want from these two teams going head to head. We want Cesc Fabregas versus Frank Lampard. We want it to be John Terry up against Thierry Henry. We want the we want the passion. We want the aggression. And most importantly, we want the jeopardy of silverware. We need it to be title races. And there is now a world where we could potentially be the major challenger to Arsenal's ambition to win the league. I'm seeing some shout here. Rice got us a draw. Caicedo cost Chelsea a draw. I don't think that we can be too harsh on Moises Caicedo for that tackle. Like, it was a bad challenge. But do you not think that we all need to grow up a little bit? Like, not you, because look, the fact that you're subscribers here makes me think that you get it. But, generally, everybody's so moany, aren't they? Football is a contact sport. Football is a physical sport. Why has everybody suddenly become so precious? Like, I would have never, ever wanted anyone sent off. When Trevor Chalobah got elbowed? In theory, there could have been a conversation there. There could have been a VAR conversation there. There could have been some sort of jeopardy. I don't want a player sent off for that. Caicedo, yeah, it was probably too heavy. It was probably just the wrong side of the line. But that's all it was. It was only that. And by the way, we are halfway to heaven. If anyone hasn't yet liked this stream, please do me a massive favour. I'm dreaming of reaching 1,000 likes on a stream that is currently live. That has never been done before. Can we reach 1,000 likes? I know it's a huge request. But if anyone's watching and hasn't liked, please consider doing it. Also, click subscribe while you're here, because we have an awful lot to get our teeth into today. Like, ultimately, it was an amazing game. It was an amazing spectacle. It was a great advert for Premier League football. It was a great advert for London football. And London football has needed this. London derby has needed an element of aggression, an element of serious football. Off the back of that playground antics that we saw last week when Tottenham were playing. Think about what Arsenal did to Tottenham. It was so one-sided that it was embarrassing. It was embarrassing in terms of being a competitive game of football. Can't be having that. This is proper. Now, if Chelsea and Arsenal were going for the title, this could get very serious, very nasty indeed. Caicedo versus Rice, it's the perennial debate. It could be settled by who guides their team to a league title this season. Mate, 6 points. 6 points is nothing. 6 points is totally totally surmountable. And I am really, really, really looking forward to it. It's the most pride that I've had in a Chelsea performance for ages. For absolutely ages. It is the most pride that I've had in a season. And this Caicedo-Rice debate is something that's going to go on, isn't it? It's a shame that Caicedo got sent off because he was playing very well. And you could see that he had something to prove. You could see that he had a slight edge. You could see that he was up for it. And it is a real shame that he got sent off. But genuinely, you know when people talk about Rice versus Caicedo, my argument is that at what Caicedo does, he's better than anyone else in the world. As a ball-winning, base of the midfield footballer, nobody is better than Moises Caicedo. Declan Rice, or what he does, Declan Rice as an 8. Let's make it very simple. Caicedo as a 6, Rice as an 8. Overall, who's a better midfielder? If you could only pick one, who do you pick? If Mikel Arteta today could have never signed Declan Rice and could have signed Moises Caicedo, does he swap? If you're an Arsenal fan, if you could have never signed Declan Rice, so you haven't fallen in love with him, you have to take your mind back, would you swap Caicedo for Rice? Because I'm telling you this, and I tell you this honestly, I tell you this with no bias, I tell you this with absolutely no tribalism. I am a fair and a just man, and nobody would ever accuse me of being anything else. You could offer me Declan Rice plus 25 million, and I do not swap Declan Rice and Moises Caicedo. ATAF. And that's a fact. Because Rice all day. Did Rice have a particularly good game today? Rice all day says Ars Real Madrid maybe. Rice all day. What is people serious? Rory, this is fighting talk. 2-pack. Oh mate, I'm not fighting you. Really, lots of people are saying Rice. This is weird. Hang on a minute. Answer me this in the chat. Just simply this. Who's a better player, Rice or Caicedo? Right, Rice if you think it's Rice. Right, Caicedo if you think it's Caicedo. It can't be this one-sided. What's going on here? Caicedo's levels above Rice. Honestly, there's a Tottenham fan saying. Absolutely right. Rice all day, says Mark Bailey. Rice easy, says Mike Dornan. This is weird. Caicedo all day, Ben Levy. There you go. Rice still better. Caicedo says Seaman. Seaman, probably an Arsenal fan as well, right? Rice, baby. No, Rice, Caicedo. It's heavier Rice, isn't it? Your opinions used to be good. Rice. Okay. Mate, it sounds like a lot of you are wrong. I can't help it. I mean, I welcome you into this community. I do my best to educate. I do my best to learn from you equally. But on this one, my friends, you are absolutely wrong. Caicedo level above, says Joshua there. Rice, says Mr. 2-pack Shakur. Rice. Well, there's a lot of Rices coming in. I can't even read them this quick. Wow, Rices are coming in. Heavy rate for Rice. Dear God. Oh my God. Okay. I think it's fair to say that you all think it's Declan Rice. I didn't expect it to be. This bad. But Toby here says the red has ruined Caicedo's reputation at the moment. Yeah, I think there's an element of truth to that. there is an element of truth to that. But what I would say is that they are undoubtedly the two best midfielders in the league. God, could you imagine them playing together? That's some midfield, that, isn't it? Caicedo as a 6, Rice as an 8. Can you imagine the freedom that you would get from Declan Rice if he had somebody like Caicedo behind it? I mean, I know that Zubimendi's a brilliant player. Interesting the way we approached Zubimendi, I thought, today. Really paid him a lot of attention, didn't we? It feels to me like Zubimendi's almost the unsung hero at Arsenal. Feels like he really does make them tick. Feels like he really is integral to what they do. Very good player. Very good player. But to Enzo Maresca's credit, he clocked that, he worked it out, and he decided that we were going to really try and stop Zubimendi on the ball. If you notice, every time Zubimendi got the ball, he was pressed. It was immediately Gusto on him, immediately Reece James on him, immediately Enzo Fernandez on him, immediately Caicedo on him before he got sent off. It felt like that really was clever tactics from Enzo Maresca there. Very, very impressive stuff. But look, I think that we should be. I think it's very rare moment, right? But I think everybody is a winner today. I think Chelsea should be happy. I think Arsenal should be happy. Arsenal have got a really good point away at Stamford Bridge. And I know that what's happened in football, and I find it very weird, but there is this thing in football now that seems to have almost changed. We seem to now talk about football in a very different way. We don't talk about a good point away from home. Like, you know, when I was a kid, You would look at St James's Park, Turf Moor, Portman Road, Loftus Road, St Mary's. You would look at games like that and you would go, great point away from home. I tell you what, if you're going to Fratton Park midweek, you get a point, great point. You're going to the Stadium of Light midweek, great point. You're going to play at Stamford Bridge, you're Arsenal, and you're going to play at Stamford Bridge off the back of playing Bayern Munich, and you're not going to have lost either game. That, on some definition, certainly if you're my age, you go, good point, really good point. But you young hipster kids, mate, you've changed it all. You've robbed the value of a good point. I think a lot of Arsenal fans are now not happy with a point at Stamford Bridge. I genuinely believe this. I think Arsenal should be really, really happy here. They got a good point and they don't have to play at Stamford Bridge again, which is exactly how they want it. I'm going back in to the Super Chat there. We have done, where am I up to? I am up to Amir Mayo, who has said, credit to Chelsea, more threatening than us, even when down to 10 men. Thought we were poor considering the good week that we had against Bayern. Also, happy to see Chelsea in a title race, just like the old days. Amir, that is a very, very impressive Super Chat from you. We were incredibly threatening, and we didn't give up at going down to 10 men. And that is something that is just not in keeping with the way that I see Enzo Maresca. Enzo Maresca isn't a particularly offensive manager, but today we went for the jugular against the best team in the country. Come on, Blues. It was absolutely brilliant. I completely agree with that, Amir. And look, you said that you were poor considering the good week that you've had. It's been an amazing week, though. You've beaten North London rivals. Eze scoring a hat-trick, which is like perfect, isn't it? You've watched Eberiche Eze score a hat-trick against the team that he nearly signed for. It's just a dream for you, right? So you've got that. That's in the bag. That is unbelievable. You've then beaten Bayern Munich. Harry Kane, who scored 15 goals against you in the past, doesn't even get a shot off. So, again, over the moon. Like, that's a perfect night. Beating Bayern Munich is always symbolic, and it's a statement victory. Then you come to Stamford Bridge, you get a point. You're absolutely right. Amir, it's a really, really good week for Arsenal. And like you say there, Chelsea-Arsenal in a title race, mate. This could be something spectacular. This could be really, really good. Rice got us a draw. Caicedo cost Chelsea a draw. That is misleading. It's not true. And it's from the WD945. Harsh in my opinion on Caicedo. I think we would have won the game if he'd stayed on the pitch. I just can't blame him for the tackle. I don't think it was a particularly painful tackle. I don't think it was a particularly hateful tackle. I just think it was poorly timed and overly aggressive, but not in a dirty way. Just sort of mistimed. So no, I'm not too harsh on that. Sharoon K says, Rory, you're reading... Oh, I've done that one. Yeah, I'm not reading the Maresca situation wrong, though. I'm convinced. But Sharoon, welcome to the community, sir. Reece Jones, 9110, says, that Reece James performance was something else. Maresca deserves a lot of respect. A lot of respect, though through the appointment was suspect. He's proven us all wrong. I mean, he's doing very well. I mean, look, today, I feel like he's doing well, and I feel like you're onto something. The only problem I have, Reece, I don't feel like he's proven us wrong yet. Days like today go a long way to proving it. Days like Barcelona go a long way to proving it. But fairly recently, we got beat at home by Sunderland. Fairly recently, we got beat at home by Brighton. Fairly recently, we lost at Old Trafford. But don't get me wrong, I'm buzzing today. And the way that we approach the game, it isn't even about the result. You know if Arsenal nicked a winner at the end? You know when Gyökeres goes up and it's nicked off his head? You know if that goes in, I'm still happy. I'm still over the moon today because we played with pride, we played with venom, we played with power, and it was a joy to behold. Sharoon. But by that logic, should also apply to Jose when he said the little horse, we ended up top 4, then won the league the season after, the Everton one feels like that. Yeah, okay, mate, you've got some very good points, and that's why I love this channel. Sharoon, you're an educated, articulate man. The little horse thing was weird, wasn't it, with Mourinho? The little horse thing was weird. He called us the little horse in the title race, but I think he was making a statement to the board. I think he wanted more money, basically. But look, maybe you're right. Maybe Enzo Maresca is playing mind games, and he said that Liverpool are going to win the league because he wanted them to believe it and not consider Chelsea to be a rival, and now look at where we are. Sharoon, it's an honour. And that's why I love doing this channel. I'm so grateful to every single one of you for tuning in, by the way. Thank you. Please do me a favour. Can you like the stream? It massively helps me. And we might reach the promised land of 1,000 concurrent likes while we're still live. Never happened before. Also, click subscribe, will you? I love going live like this. I love the to and fro in. Thank you to everybody who's tuned in. And if you are subscribed, you'll be around next time. Makes it more fun. Really, really appreciate it, man. Love the to-in and throw-in. Love people like Sharoon there, who's giving me a run for my money. He's got some great knowledge, and that's the beauty of it. You're teaching me. Rob Hannon says, Arsenal don't have mentality. Chelsea are favourites. Not many things leave me speechless, but I'm not sure I got too much to say here, Rob. Arsenal's mentality, I don't like saying this, and I certainly don't like saying it now we're in the title race. But I feel like they look like title winners, man. The stature, the belief in them, they feel like they look like title winners. But the mentality thing is an issue. But we won't find it out yet. So it's a March, April thing. Let's see how they go when they're playing tough league game, away in the Champions League quarterfinals, then another tough league game. Let's see how it goes then. But Rob, I hope you are right, mate. I hope you are right. Connie Putkin says, no, Caicedo was off the boiler, still a draw. Caicedo was off, but he was playing well before he went off. He was so aggressive. I love it. I love football when it's like that. You know, pulsating, aggressive. London derby, under the lights, Stamford Bridge, in nearly December. The festive season is about to kick off. Mate, it was poetry. Sometimes you get that moment in football, don't you, where you're like, this is my lifeblood. This is what I live for. Watching Stamford Bridge under the lights like that. Watching a Matthew Harding go. 10 men went to Mo. You know when they will go 9 men and then bang, 10 men went to Mo. You can hear the Arsenal fans in the back. Chelsea scored up. The Hoardings, bang. It's what makes us live, man. It's what keeps us alive. And it was just beautiful. But look, we'll find out about Caicedo. We'll find out. Caicedo v Rice. Who's going to guide their team to a title first? TBHDA says, going into this game, it was all about Rice versus Caicedo. It ended with Reece James being the star man of that midfield. Completely correct. Reece, I thought, do you know what? You're right. You're completely right. Reece James was immense. He was immense. He was one of the best players on the pitch. Absolute icon. And no doubt, I'm not taking anything away from Reece James. Man of the match by a mile. Tell you what, though. Enzo Fernandez. Anyone that watches this channel regularly will know that I'm not a big fan of Enzo Fernandez, really. I haven't been particularly kind about him, and I've never really warmed to him. But my God, I thought Enzo Fernandez was brilliant today. I thought he was everywhere. I thought he was just perfect. I really did. I thought he was absolutely excellent, and it really was a joy to see Enzo Fernandez playing with that level of aggression. It really was brilliant. It was a great performance from us. We have just taken the best team in the country to the wire with 10 men. Without our best player gets sent off. And that is what we do. Mad Dude says, I'm happy thus far in the season. If you told me you'd be 5 points clear after Anfield, Stamford Bridge, St James's Park, and the City of Lights, Stadium of Light, right? Yeah, I think you should be happy. I think you should be happy. Arsenal fans are top of the league. They're top of the league over us by 6 points. Top of the league over Guardiola by 5 points. If you offered that to Mikel Arteta at the beginning of the season, obviously he takes it. You go, Mikel, after 13 games, you're going to be 5 clear of City. Do you take it? Obviously he says yes. Obviously he says yes. So yeah, I think you are absolutely right. If you're an Arsenal fan, you should be over the moon. You got Stamford Bridge out of the way, mate. It's one of your hardest away games of the season. You got it out of the way. Adrian Pfeiffer says, do you have a more positive outlook on the direction of the ownership? No. Direction of the ownership, the group is taking the club? No. This is very important. The ownership are driving the club into the ground. The ownership have absolutely no affinity with the true fans of Stamford Bridge, true fans of Chelsea Football Club around the world. Their ambition is to make as much money out of Chelsea as possible. What I love is the first 11. What I love is the Chelsea squad. What I love is everything about the first team. And what I am warming to is Enzo Maresca. The ownership, and you can separate the ownership and the club. Do you remember Manchester United for years had that banner, Love United, Hate Glazer? That's sort of how I feel. I have absolutely no time or respect for Clear Lake whatsoever. But this group of players, Reece James, Moises Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez, the way they played today, they were absolutely immense. And it's impossible not to be like in love with the way that they're doing things. Truly, truly brilliant. But thank you for that. We'll have a chat about the ownership. We can do that another time, Adrian. Charlie Knight says, fair play, Rory, good game, but proves that Arsenal playing poorly and Chelsea playing well equals a draw. No. It proves that Arsenal playing poorly against a 10-man Chelsea. Why did you play poorly? Mate, you played poorly because a 10-man Chelsea made you play poorly. A Chelsea without our best player made you play poorly. You were bullied into playing poorly. You didn't just play poorly. You played poorly because we were excellent. We played poorly because Enzo Maresca outthought Mikel Arteta. You played poorly because we forced you into a corner and backed you into a corner where you were terrified that you played poorly. We played well without our main man. We played well without our best player. Don't even come it around here, Charlie, son. But, mate, Charlie, me and you are going to go for it. Me and you, it's going to be serious sparring on this YouTube channel between me and you if Chelsea and Arsenal end up in a title race. RMCF says, how about this? Would you take Caicedo now or Casemiro from Real Madrid? For me, it's Casemiro and it's not even close. Rice is close to Cruz levels. These are interesting comparisons, but the truth is I don't take Moises Caicedo over... I don't take anyone over Moises Caicedo. I don't take Moises Caicedo out of my team. Moises Caicedo is everything I want in a footballer. Every single aspect that I want from a footballer, Moises Caicedo has in bundles. I'm not swapping Moises Caicedo for anyone. Look, Casemiro at Real Madrid was part of one of the most glorious Real Madrid teams ever assembled. It's arguably the greatest midfield ever put together. Cruz, Casemiro, Modric midfield was there, wasn't it? How many European Cups? But I love Caicedo, mate. Call it tribalism, but I love Caicedo. Selfie says, the game has taught us that Reece James is a better midfielder than Caicedo and Rice. Proper Chelsea captain performance. It was a proper Chelsea captain performance. It really was. He was immense. Do you know, I wonder if this is going to open up doors for him for England. Like I told you, didn't I, earlier in this video, that I was having an argument with that Arsenal Lee. I did a video with Arsenal Lee earlier this week, and I said that Reece James was the main man. I said Reece James was an icon. I said Reece James was going to give Arsenal a major, major headache. And he wasn't having it. And he laughed at me, and all the comments on the Instagram thing, all the comments are mocking me. And then Reece James puts in a performance like that. I'm like that now with a cigar. You know what you need to do to me off the back of that? You need to do those eyes. You know when people do that and make it a Snoop Dogg thing? Get the eyes on me. That's what you need to do. Hold up. That's what you need to do. You need to get me telling Lee, Arsenal Lee, you need to get me telling him, Reece James, icon. Reece James going to slap you up. Reece James, the main man. Reece James, twice the player Timber ever. Get the, hold up. What would you do? Right? That's what needs to happen. Someone clever on the internet will be able to do that. The Hamadou Chelsea says, finally, you gave some credit to Maresca and Sanchez. Hearing you talking so much negativity about them is sickening. He is not one of the worst managers in the league. In fact, he is now one of the best. I mean, look, today he got it right. Today he got it right. I mean, depending on how highly you rank Maresca, maybe we don't agree. But look, there is no doubt today Enzo Maresca got it right. He was aggressive, he was ambitious. But I wasn't saying that after we got beat at home by Sunderland. I wasn't saying that after we got beat at home by Brighton. I wasn't saying that after we lost to maybe the worst Manchester United team of a generation. So, look, I'm over the moon with what's happened today. And yes, Sanchez has a good game as well, Hamada. I am over the moon. And I've never wanted to be wrong more. But until Enzo Maresca, to me, proves that he's elite, and doing what he did today is a way of proving it, then I think there's some jeopardy. Like, do you honestly think Enzo Maresca is one of the best managers in the league? Is he better than Iraola? Is he better than Glasner? You know, where do you draw the line on Enzo Maresca? Where do you see him? Let me know. A joy to have you here, though, Hamadou, and I am equally over the moon with it. Zar2291 says, both are the best at what they do, and I trust Rice as a 6 more than Caicedo as an 8. Yeah, I agree with that. I'm not biased. I'm not completely biased. I do agree with that. Rice as an 8 is better than Caicedo as an 8. Caicedo as a 6 is better than Rice as a 6, but Rice is a better 6 than Caicedo would be an 8. I can agree with that. But at what Caicedo's job is, there's nobody in the world better than Moises Caicedo. Bosh. Absolutely. Michael Dave says, Chelsea fans are the new Arsenal fans. Absolutely delusional. Completely disagree. We are never delusional. We say what we see. We are completely and utterly unbiased, untribal, unpartisan, and we will just say what we see. And that is why I can say to you, Chelsea are undoubtedly in a title race. Non-negotiable, sir. Louis Charlton says, I truly believe that this weekend has shown Sunderland are in the running for a Conference League spot. I think they'll give Liverpool and City a game. They'll give everyone a game. They have an excellent manager. They're an ambitious club. They're a great support. They're a wonderful football club. And it's a joy to have them back in the Premier League. I agree with you. They'll give everyone a game. They won't beat City or Liverpool, though. It might be Liverpool. It won't beat City. The G Scouser says, not to take away from Chelsea this game, showed a real fight. But this should be a game they looked at through the lens of no spine for Arsenal. No Saliba, no Gabriel, no G14. The whole point, though, everything that we've learned about Arsenal, everything that people who support Arsenal told us, is that this Arsenal team are different. And the reason they're different is because they have depth. The reason they're different is because they have two elite players that are capable of playing anytime, anywhere, regardless. The reason this is different is because they have a second-string team that would make it into the Champions League spots. That's what I've been told. So I don't care what Arsenal team played. Declan Rice was still on the pitch, wasn't he? You know, he didn't really get near the ball because Reece James was educating him how to be a midfielder. But he was on the pitch. Tongue-in-cheek. Calm down, it was tongue-in-cheek. But no, I don't think it takes anything away from us, mate. The Away End FC says, if Arsenal had Gabriel and Saliba, they go 9 points clear. If my auntie had... You know, also, how do you know? How do you know? If Moises Caicedo didn't get sent off, we go 9 points. We close the gap on them. You know, it all changes. The whole point of them is that they have a squad now, right? That's the whole point. Charlie Knight, Arsenal missing both Saliba and Gabriel. Result would have been different. We had a man sent off. What is everyone talking about their problems for? We played with 10 men. Our best player was sent off. We had to do an hour without our best player. Get a grip here, Charlie. You're only saying Chelsea in the title race so you can laugh when we lose or blame Maresca or make 10 videos on Chelsea. Well, we'll see what happens. I'm not saying that's not the only reason. I'm saying Chelsea are in a title race because we sit third in the league. We're a point behind Man City. We've just taken the game to an Arsenal team with 10 men. I'm incredibly inspired by what I've seen. And there is no reason now why we shouldn't be building on something like that. Let's see how we go. It was a sensational performance from us. And I am over the moon with it. Absolutely brilliant. So we'll have to see. Let's hope that we are in a title race. Let's hope I'm right. And let's hope that we really take it to Arsenal. Let's hope that they can hear hooves. If we can force Arsenal to be terrified, if we can make them nervous, they will be like that scene in Jurassic Park. You know when the kids are in the car and the water's trembling? If we're breathing down Arsenal's necks, winning games, the pressure will be on Arsenal. And who knows if they have what it takes. Now, before you go, do me a massive favour. Please click subscribe. It really helps me out. If you would be kind enough to click subscribe, join this community, it would make me so happy. It would crown off a wonderful day even more. Thank you. Oh, did we hit the 1,000 likes? Did we get there? Oh, so close. 7-9. Before you go, like the stream if you haven't yet. I'm over the moon. This has been brilliant. Thank you so much for watching. Really do appreciate it. Before you go, click subscribe. Chelsea in a title race. Get up there, Blues. Ta-da.